Gentlemen, you don't have enough talent to win on talent alone.
Hello, and welcome to the Town Alone podcast brought to you by The Wheel. I am your host, Adam Hess, and with me, as always, he's a squid, he's a kid. It's Mike Regan. Mike, how you doing today?
Good. Back to you, Adam. I'm doing good.
I threatened, right before we went live, I threatened to have Mike have to basically do all the production stuff on the podcast for an episode, and I think that he has officially shut down. He is quiet quitting the podcast after that threat.
It was like 30 seconds before we hit record, and it literally stressed me out that fast. So I was like,
"Don't worry, Mike. I'll never actually follow through on it. You can can sit in your donut shop, talk about college football."
I think I'd be a world-class editor,
as in
what many would say. That's what people tell me.
As in you would be in the world and maybe edit. Or is that how you would be a world-class editor?
Elite tier. You know, if someone did a tier ranking of editors, I probably would be S tier.
Who's the number one editor right now?
I don't know.
Yeah, right. I can't think of one. It's really hard. It's hard to come with a joke. I'll go with Sergey Eisenstein, who came up with montage theory. I don't even know if he ever edited anything, but I can't think of another editor right now. Wait. I think the Coens edit some of their own movies under a pseudonym.
Okay. Whoever redacted 98% of the Epstein files, pretty good editing.
Fun fact:
a lot of
Jeffrey Epstein. He's still alive.
He's still alive.
Still alive. Do you think we're the football podcast that has the highest average of Epstein files mentions?
Probably.
Is there a football podcast that mentions the Epstein files more often than us?
Yeah, I don't know unless Epstein had a football pod. But then again, he wouldn't mention the Epstein files.
Yeah, he would be trying to bury those. Is that our lane? Is that how we get famous? We're the Epstein file podcast guys?
No, I don't think that's the way to go. Everybody's doing it.
But no one's doing it in a football podcast. That's the important thing, Mike.
That's true.
I've told you, the 2026 ethos, or pathos, or synthos of Town Alone is, what are we doing that no one else is doing?
Yeah.
And no one else is doing a football podcast dripping with Epstein content.
That's true.
All right, I guess we'll just talk about football then.
Sorry, I'm distracted.
Yeah. I figured as much.
But I'm not anymore.
You can keep me distracted if you want. I can do a solo pod. I can just talk to myself.
No.
Oh. Mike doesn't want me to find out that I can do this podcast alone.
Yeah, I know.
I get to keep all the money for myself.
All the billions and billions.
Mike, we are very late to the party, but on Monday, the Houston Texans narrowly beat the Pittsburgh Steelers to advance to the Divisional Round of the AFC playoffs. Listen. At half, the game was a 1-point game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the second half, the Steelers did cough up 2 defensive scores, so that hurt. But if you take out those 2 defensive scores, this game's a 10-point game.
It's a lot of copium.
This game, Mike, featured 2 offensive touchdowns.
Yeah.
In all 60 minutes.
It was pretty rough in the third quarter.
Wasn't a great game of football, let me tell you.
I low-key dozed off during the third quarter and then woke up in the fourth to the announcers making noise. Probably that's when points started getting scored again. So.
But with that, Mike, we got the news shortly after the conclusion of that game that Mike Tomlin is stepping down as the head coach of the Steelers after 19 seasons, 9 straight first-round playoff exits, and never having a losing season. Mike, in the grand tradition of the Pittsburgh Steelers, during your lifetime, where would you rank Mike Tomlin in terms of coaches?
I feel like he's right next to Bill Cowher. Both coached for a really long time, had very strong win-loss records, and won 1 Super Bowl.
You know they've had 3 coaches since the Korean War?
Yeah, it was Chuck Noll, some jabroni, and then Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin.
It might have been Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. There might have not even been a jabroni in there.
I feel like I looked it up one time and there was a jabroni people forgot. I can't remember that. I'd have to.
Let's see who
do
this
the
jabroni is.
research.
It's gonna be funny when this turns out to be like Dick Butkus, what's the head coach of the Steelers or something. So Chuck Noll, 1969 to 1991. 1992, Bill Cowher takes over. 1992 to 2006.
Oh,
which,
okay. So yeah, they're on
is only
30.
a paltry 14 years.
Yeah.
And then Mike Tomlin takes over in 2007 2025. Fun fact, Mike Tomlin never won Coach of the Year.
No. Which
he
is
never
funny
deserved
because it doesn't sound like, compared to the Cowher to Tomlin transition, Tomlin was already on staff. It does not sound like that is happening here.
They got Arthur Smith right there. Just give him the wheel for the next 20 years.
Does that say something about the head coaching pool this offseason that Arthur Smith is getting? Like, if there's one thing looking back at the 2025-2026 Pittsburgh Steelers that I can confidently say they were not good at, it was scoring points. And people are like, let's give Arthur Smith a call. What is he up to?
My favorite thing about this is that it's basically like John Harbaugh gets to set his price, and the report came out that he did an interview with the Falcons and that he is vetting teams, not vice versa, that he is vetting teams.
Yeah,
and then if you don't get him, you just get what? Like, you're just like, well, we can talk ourselves into Mike McDaniel or Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, I saw a report earlier saying that the Giants were willing to give like Harbaugh whatever he wanted.
Oh my God. Is Rooney
get the
Mara
deal
going to
done.
have to marry John Harbaugh? Is Rooney Mara part of the Mara family? Or is that my headcanon?
I don't know. Rooney Mara sounds like you combine the owners of the Giants and the Steelers.
She was in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo in The Social Network. And she's in Her, Mike, your favorite movie, Her.
Oh, or Jake
And I just saw her
Gyllenhaal.
something else
Not Jake
recently.
Gyllenhaal. Wonky,
Jake Gyllenhaal never
Joaquin
fucks a
Phoenix.
phone. How dare you
Yeah,
imply
fucks a phone.
that Jake Gyllenhaal would fuck a phone, Mike? Let's
My
see.
bad.
Let's see if Rooney Mara. Rooney Mara's married to Joaquin Phoenix?
No, she's not.
Yeah, she is.
She's not.
She's part of the Rooney family and the Mara family? Her first name is what? Her first
You're
name.
making this up.
No, I'm looking at it right now. Her first name is the Irish American family known for its connections to the sporting, acting, and political fields. And then her last name is Mara, which is the Irish American family known primarily for owning the New York Giants.
Oh yeah, parents Timothy Mara and Kathleen Rooney.
What the fuck? Also, she's the founder of a vegan clothing line. Not a clothesline, not a vegan clothesline. Let me ask you this. Should I kill Joaquin Phoenix and try to marry Rooney Mara? Should that be my genie bus?
She's not married to Joaquin. Oh, she's married to Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes, she's married to fucking Joaquin Phoenix, Mike.
I thought you were making that up.
Because of the phone fucking movie?
Yeah, because the phone fucking movie. How about that?
Anyway, she's great in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Oh, good stuff.
Phenomenal that movie.
Phenomenal.
Anyways, Mike. What were we talking about? John Harbaugh? Yeah, let's so first off, the reports are coming out now that Tomlin will not be coaching next year. Apparently he has a deal in his back pocket lined up with Fox to do the Fox program, which makes me ask, is that the one with Gronk or is that the one without Gronk?
Gronk has Fox has Gronk, I should say.
Can we just get
Gronk
shirts
might-
that say Fox has Gronk? That's a ridiculous sentence. Like, imagine that out of context in 25 years. Imagine looking at someone and going, yeah, Fox had Gronk. They'd be like, oh, great, Mike's having a stroke. He's just saying noises.
I think isn't the word that the Steelers are like, they still have his contract, like his rights?
Yeah, so they have his
So they
rights
could
through
trade
the
him?
next season. They could trade him if he wants to come back, but the report is that he's going to sit out for a year, do some TV,
why?
date Jordan Hudson, come back, coach Duke.
Watch out, Bill.
Yeah.
Like Tomlin's coming for your girl.
By the way, Tomlin, 53 years old, coached in the NFL for the last 19 seasons, 53. That must be what it was like for the generation above us, the way we feel with Sean McVay now, where you're like, Sean McVay, Super Bowl, offensive genius, he's been in the league forever, he's played in 2 Super Bowls, he's potentially on his way to, or he's coached in 2 Super Bowls, potentially on his way to coaching in a third. By the way, he's 40.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Do you think at 53, Sean McVay is going to like put on a gut like Mike Tomlin did and lose touch with how to call an offense in 2020 or 2046 at that point?
I don't think McVay will be coaching at 53.
Yeah, he'll be banging chicks in the Caribbean.
Sure.
I'm seeing here he's actually married to Rooney Mara, so
He's also married to Joaquin Phoenix.
So I want to stick on the Pittsburgh Steelers. First off, is there any chance the next coach is another institution for more than a decade, or is that have they tapped the well on and run out of luck on that one?
I feel like they've tapped the well. There's no way they can pull that off again.
Well, I'm just saying. There's a little guy floating around who they could hire by the name of John Harbaugh.
Yeah, they have requested permission to interview Chris Shula.
Also 38 years old. Yeah. I like Chris Shula a lot. If they manage to pull this off for a fourth time, I'm going to be as pissed at them as I am at Jordan Love for being like an above average quarterback for a franchise that's had above average quarterbacking since I was born. Like, if they manage, if they bag Chris Shula and then he turns out to be Mike Tomlin-esque, always above 500, perennial playoff contender, defensive guru guy. I'm going to be real annoyed about that, Mike. I'm going to be real annoyed.
My only thing is, I don't know what, I guess the powers that be in Pittsburgh just didn't pay attention to the league the last like 5 weeks of the season.
because the Rams defense got worse?
Has gone to shit.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about defenses more in a minute.
Yeah, he's blaming Manny Forbes. Last point I want to make on the AFC North. I was texting you about this. Zach Taylor going to be the only tenured coach in the division next year.
Wild. Such a cheap organization. They do not want to pay him. They do not want to fire him and have him on payroll still.
Hey, he coached in a Super Bowl. They lost that Super Bowl easily, but he coached in it.
He did.
Yeah. Never forget that, Mike. Zach Taylor has coached in more Super Bowls than, I'll say, Chuck Noll.
So did Ron Rivera.
Yeah, that one barely counts, though. That was maybe the worst performance I've seen by a team in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they get shit smacked pretty well.
I'll forever burned into my memory is just the image of Cam Newton fumbling the snap and then just not even diving on it. I'm going, we're down 3 scores. I ain't getting near that.
Done.
Yeah, I'm not hurting my hat wearing neck. Let's talk Aaron Rodgers, Mike. In traditional Aaron Rodgers fashion, he has been mum on what he's going to do next because Aaron Rodgers wants to be the LeBron James of the media. So we don't know what's next for A-Raj. He reportedly came to Pittsburgh because he wanted to play with Mike Tomlin. Not because it was the only team that was going to take him, Mike. I don't know why you keep saying that. It's because he wanted to play for Mike Tomlin. But now he is 41 years old. Before the season, in a Quentin Tarantino-style move, he declared that it would be his last season and is now trapped in a corner where if he just says nothing and plays next year, no one's going to bring it up. But if he comes out and makes a declaration about playing again, a lot of people are going to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, here's what I wanted. I want to play a game of the famous fantasy football site, Keep Trade Cut. But I'm going to add an extra option to you. Congratulations. You're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Keep, trade, cut, or retire Aaron Rodgers.
Well, they can't cut him because it was a 1-year deal, right?
Okay, we're playing a game here, Mike. Pretend that he has more time on his deal, all right?
So it's more so like re-sign.
Re-sign, sign and trade, let walk, retire.
Yeah.
Thanks for... You see how much more of a mouthful that is, Mike?
Yeah, it is.
This is why Joaquin Phoenix gets all the phones and you don't get any.
I mean, do you want me to say what I think the Steelers will do or what I would do?
Let's go with the Steelers first and then Town Alone's on Mike Regan's opinion.
So I think if Rodgers says I want to go another year, they'll sign the contract.
Yeah,
because they are so addicted to never taking a step back and rebuilding. Like they refuse to do it, and so they'll think if we have Rodgers, we at least have a starting quarterback. I would say that. I mean, if I'm them and he says I want to play another year, I would say okay, we'll get back to you. And have a serious look at our options before making that decision. And if he retires, I wouldn't cry over it. I'd be like, all right, moving on to the next thing. Looking back at this Steelers season, like every week as the season went on, in hindsight, it became more and more confusing that they acquired DK Metcalf and then moved Pickens. And I can get it. Pickens may have just not wanted to be there. So locker room problem. Let's move along. But Pickens played great in Dallas. And they could have really used more than one receiver. It was like DK, Darnell Washington, and Pat Freiermuth were the pass catching unit. And that was it.
How dare you not even mention Calvin Austin?
He did have that touchdown week 18, so my bad.
Yeah. Can I read you a Art Rooney of the Rooney Mara family quote?
Mm-hmm.
In a press conference on Wednesday, one day after Tomlin stepped down, which, there's a whole thing we could litigate there, but anyways. The standard is to try to compete to win a championship every year. Later, when asked if the current roster is entering a rebuild phase, Rooney responded, that is Art Rooney, not Rooney Mara. Rooney responded that he doesn't like the word rebuild, and he's not sure why you would waste a year of your life trying to not contend. So I think that your answer is there, that they're not going to start Mason Rudolph and try to get, I don't know, who's going to be the top quarterback in the draft next year.
It's up in the air.
Yeah. Art Ross.
I mean, that's different for Rooney, though, because I feel like each year for him is more precious.
Fun fact, Art Rooney, 10 years older than John Harbaugh.
Really?
Same age as Pete Carroll.
Oh, wow.
73.
My
That's
bad.
not a spring chicken, but...
Not a spring chicken, no.
I think that you're thinking of the previous Rooney, who I believe died. Once again, Art Rooney, not Rooney Mara.
Not Rooney Mara.
Not
the
Rooney
guy
Mara.
who made the rule, right?
Yeah, the Rooney rule, which is that if you're in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, you're allowed to have people who don't have Norwegian accents. That's the Rooney rule. Want to flip to the other side of the ball here? Talk about some Houston Texans? Some Houston Texans?
Yeah.
Some Houston Texans, as you people say, with your hard H's?
I think it was pretty much as expected in how they completely shut down the Steelers' offense. I think the score was a little higher than expected. At least their scoring output was higher than I would have expected. But like you said, that was because of the defensive scores. So
yeah, they had 2 defensive touchdowns. Nico Collins goes out with a concussion so bad they got the card out for him.
Jesus.
And is CJ Stroud still bad? What the fuck happened, man? Is it the offensive coordinating? Man. Is it Stroud? Is it solar flares? What is happening with CJ Stroud?
I mean, this could just be who he is as a quarterback, just like a solid quarterback, like a middle, like a starting caliber quarterback, but that's it.
Solid?
Yeah, I know. I mean, against a tougher defenses, he doesn't play well. And he had his performance wasn't anything to write home about. It wasn't god awful. And when you have a defense that good, you can play complementary football and
Mike,
and
if you
win
take
a game.
out Christian Kirk's 46-yard reception,
yeah,
he had 204 yards, 20 for 31 passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and 5 fumbles.
How many were lost though?
3? 2? Let me check. I will say, some of those fumbles weren't his fault. There was something up with the center. They lost 2 fumbles.
Yeah.
Something up with the center, but 3 of them were legitimate fumbles. 3 of them were he hit his hand on someone as he was throwing the ball. He had a time when he was under pressure where he tried to toss the ball away and just once again got it smacked out of his hand. He just makes poor decisions. He holds onto the ball too long. And it seems like he kind of needs a scheme lord to come in for him to be able to get his receivers open. And you can blame the offensive line, sure. But the pass catching group is talented. Woody Marks is talented. Their tight end group, including Dalton Schultz, who had a career high in receptions. This guy played for Dak Prescott in Dallas and had a career high in Houston. So, Mike, what is that little rule that you always say? It's the rule of something and something.
Bad and young QBs.
Are we ready? Are we ready to move CJ Stroud into the bad QB classification there?
I mean, it's tough when we live in a world where Sam Darnold was a bust for 7 seasons, and all of a sudden it clicked for him. He got in the room with some smart offensive people who were able to really kind of unlock him. So who knows? The highlight Tuesday, and speaking to the Texans receiving core and Christian Kirk popping off for 144, the highlight Tuesday was Stephen A. Smith accidentally calling Christian Kirk Charlie Kirk on first base.
Did he really?
Yes.
Did he really? Oh my God. Stephen. Come on, buddy. I sometimes call Matt LaFleur Mike LaFleur, but at least I'm not calling him a assassinated conservative commentator. I didn't mean to go alliterative there.
Right. It was one of those things where he said it, and then like a few seconds later, or a couple seconds later, like the host on the desk was like Christian, like kind of like Christian.
Maybe he was talking about Charlie Kirk. You know,
He was.
Stephen A. Smith got a lot of Charlie Kirk thoughts. That's all I got for this game, Mike. Did you have any other Tomlin, Rodgers, or Texans thoughts that you wanted to get off your chest?
Not that I can think of. Well, wait. I already know Rodgers will drag this decision out as long as possible because he's addicted to people talking about him, and he will wait until there's something else going on in the NFL that people are talking about to make his announcement to get the talk back about him. That's the way he does every year.
It's going to be great because I did the whole joke during the summer where at the end of the podcast, I'd always check to see if he had signed somewhere yet. I could do that for a whole nother summer, Mike.
It's exciting.
I get another summer out of it. I love milking the same joke. Obviously, as you could tell with my repeated Rooney Mara joke. This is why one day we're going to break through on YouTube, because I am great for algorithmic feeds because I find a thing that works and I hammer it until it is dust.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how algorithms work, Mike.
As the what?
Too.
The algorithm? Yeah.
Charlie Kirk. Mike, I'll give you a choice here. You want to do our mock draft first, or do you want to talk the Natty?
I thought we were ranking defenses.
We're going to do that when we talk about the divisional round.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Let's talk the Natty. It's probably not going to take a lot of time on it, I imagine. I'll knock it out.
All right. Well, we got my timer started for 45 seconds. Go, Mike.
Football.
I'm
Natty.
kidding.
Kirk Herbstreit. Chris Fowler.
Mike, the Natty. Kirk Herbstreit.
Oh, I thought
Chris
you were
Fowler.
going to have some.
Mike, the national championship is happening between Indiana and someone else. No one knows who. Featuring such quarterbacks as Fernando Mendoza and Carson Beck. There, yes. I got all the quarterbacks. Reuben Bain Jr. That's it. That's all I can name. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
Elijah Surratt.
Mike.
Elijah Surratt, as you always say his name. Mike, tell me this. With Indiana as a prohibitive favorite to win this game, why should I even bother, as a non-college football fan, turning this game on?
Because, Miami's... I'm not going to say they've been they were underdogs in their first two games. Well, I can't remember. I think A&M was a close spread. I can't remember which way it laid, but they were obviously underdogs against Ohio State. They just keep pulling it off. They're kind of coming down the stretch here. They're beat up. They have some injuries. But, they play the kind of football where it's like, you never know. That defense steps up, slows down Indiana. They could be in this thing. The only thing is that Indiana's a completely different beast, I think, than what they faced.
Yeah, because they got that quarterback who doesn't swear.
Yeah, and they've just, I mentioned it last podcast, I think, like they've just gotten better throughout the year. Kind of like how Ohio State got to the playoffs last year and then turned on this just like Death Star mode and were annihilated their way to the Natty. Indiana just is undefeated. They didn't lose a game, but they just kept getting better, and now they look cut above the rest. One of the big storylines is going to be the size disparity, like average weight and size on Miami's defensive line compared to Indiana's offensive line, but they've held up against some big fucking units so far this year.
Randy Johnson's involved?
Yeah. Pat Coogan is a dog. All right.
And who is Pat Coogan?
I sent you the center for Indiana. I sent you the one highlight where he snaps the ball and then just like swings out, gets upfield, seals the block to get some extra yards for, I think it was either Memby or Black, one of their running backs.
You know who could use a Pat Coogan type is the Houston Texans, who were snapping everything into the ground.
Yeah, they could use a little Coog.
Gonna have to get some Coog.
He could be a good Coog in the machine.
Oh, your joke was better than mine. Mike, so as I mentioned, this game is prohibitively towards Indiana. 8.5 point favorites, minus 335 on the money line. What chances would you give Miami of at least covering the spread in this one? Or beating the spread, whatever the underdog is. I can never tell.
What do you mean by chances? Like a percentage?
You know, a letter grade.
A Greek letter grade.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with percentages, and I give him a 50-50 chance
of beating the spread,
right
not
down the
of
middle.
of being within 8.5 points, not of getting anywhere near winning this game.
I think this game, similar to the game against Bama, the game against Oregon, where you went into halftime and you were just like, Indiana's completely winning this game. I think it could be a similar thing. I think we're going to know by halftime if Miami's going to have a chance.
So I will say, according to Miami's moneyline odds, which is plus 275, that gives them an implied odds of 26.67%. Do you think that if this game is played 100 times, Miami wins 26 times?
Oh, I don't.
What would you put
really
it at?
don't.
How many, if they played 100 times, how many times does Miami win?
10.
Well, then I think
maybe I'm just too Hoosier pilled, but like Indiana people, I've heard someone make the point of being like, oh, there has to be like some regression to the mean for Indiana the way they played the first 2 games, but you can say the same thing for Miami. Like on the season, their running game wasn't that impressive, and then it really kicked up in the playoffs, and it's complemented that defense, keep games low, tight, and kill clock late and get after it with the boys in the front. But I don't know if is that going to continue? I mean, they also haven't been able to stop the run entirely well this season. So I think there's ways that Indiana can attack this. And really, if they can shut down the run, I think that will be big, because what makes Mendoza such a specimen that has wowed people is like he's putting up these numbers on such a limited pitch count. He's not.
I don't think
throwing the ball a lot.
Mendoza is allowed to say the word specimen. Just
no
future reference. Yeah.
But he's not throwing the ball a lot.
Okay,
he's not throwing the ball a lot. Is he just hyper
efficient, or are they protecting him?
No, he's just their offensive lines play very well, but he's also just he's hyper efficient.
I mean, is his offensive play caller protecting him?
No.
Is there a chance that Mendoza is not this good?
No, he's making some damn good throws and dissecting defenses and making these things look easy, but they just don't. So far, these 2 playoff games and in some big games this year, they just haven't had to call on them as much because they get the run game going. Their defense is causing havoc their way around, and Mendoza's the kind of dude who's like, give me 16 passes, I'll complete 13 of them and have a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't love that.
Yeah,
I don't love a quarterback who in college is being the second offensive option behind the run game.
I don't view it like that, because if they need him to step up, he can. I am Hoosier pilled, like I said, but if they need him to step up and throw the ball more, he can. It's just, they have a game script that if they're in complete control, they're going to stick to. Mendoza, let's see.
So let me ask you this.
His highest completion or attempts were 33 week 1, 31 week 7 against Oregon, and then 31 week 11 at Penn State. So basically, their 3 tightest games, he went over 30.
It's the games where he's throwing the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't love that. I also, Mendoza's not an athlete, right?
No, he's got wheels on him. He's sneakily athletic.
18.2 pressure to sack conversion rate. Now, that can be skewed by the fact that it doesn't seem like he's under pressure very often. But when he is under pressure, he is getting sacked at a preposterous rate.
Okay. You're already bouncing your defense for draft season, or your attack.
You know what? I didn't
dog shit.
I didn't have this prepared at all. You really poisoned the well with telling me that he is a low event quarterback. He doesn't throw the ball a lot. That concerns me when it's college. What I want in a pro quarterback is a quarterback that they were like, yeah, our engine didn't work without this guy. It sounds like if you replaced Fernando Mendoza with Dante Moore, the team would get worse, but not substantially.
Right. But if this guy, no, they would get definitely worse. It's a totally different game. If that was to change, because you're telling me, he doesn't throw the ball 30 plus times every game. Okay. Well, he has a completion percentage of 72.5, and he's thrown 41
which is easier
touchdowns.
When you throw the ball less.
41 touchdowns to only 6 interceptions. No, but that goes both ways, because that goes both ways. Because when you throw the ball less, each incompletion hits your percentage harder. So that goes both ways. That's a bisexual point you just made.
That's a bisexual point. Listen, we'll have plenty of time to argue about Fernando Mendoza back and forth. So we probably shouldn't sit here and do it for the next 25 minutes. For instance, in the next segment when we do a draft, we'll have time to argue about Fernando Mendoza.
Fernando Mendoza, yeah. All right. Fine. Moving
on. My last question that I want here, and then I'll get some picks on the record. Once again, for a dumb normie, as we're called, like me, who doesn't watch any of your dumb college football sport, who should we be watching out for that I haven't already heard of in this game? So obviously, we know Carson Beck. We know Fernando Mendoza. We know Ruben Bain. Is there anyone else that I can think of off the top of my head? Probably not. Francis Maui-Goa. I know Francis Maui-Goa. But who else should I be keeping an eye on in this game? And don't say Elijah Surratt.
Well, on Miami, there are some guys who don't get as much talk on the more like broader stage, if that makes sense.
More broader stage,
like,
sure.
No, I mean like if you go to like a sports outlet, like a sports center, like a First Take, and they just kind of like hit college football like on the surface level and don't go as deep. I feel like there's guys who don't get talked about. Like Roman Hemby, the running back for Indiana's been great. They've had like kind of like a two-pronged attack with him and Kalen Black. Watch out for those guys. They played phenomenal all year. Defensively, they got some dudes. So I don't know if they're going to be big in the NFL, but like, like Devin Boykin, safety, they're strong in the secondary. D'Angelo Pons, who obviously we saw with the big pick six. So I think there's like more guys. I mean, people forget that. His name escapes me now. Hold on. It's going to make me angry. Elijah Hardy. One of the best pass rushers in the game is on this team. In the country this year, I should say. It's
hard to remember a guy as one of the best pass rushers in the game if no one's ever heard of him, which is a little concerning, you know?
So, I mean, they got dudes. They got a hell of an offensive line. For, the Miami standpoint, like I said, their running game's got going a little bit. I think the biggest name, and this probably isn't one people haven't heard of, but like Malachi Toney.
Okay.
True freshman, three-star recruit who's just been the wide receiver, just been an absolute playmaker for the Hurricanes all year. Like, he's the biggest one that Indiana's going to have to watch out for. Is we can't let Carson Beck, he's very experienced, a bit of a smarter QB, and we can't let him get off a quick pass to Toney in space because he will do some serious damage.
So, just sorting through PFF here, Mikhail Kamara, currently their 101st ranked prospect. Pat Coogan, 146th ranked prospect.
Disgusting.
Carter Smith, their tackle. D'Angelo Pons, you mentioned. Omar Cooper Jr. and Elijah Surratt are the only other two day 2 picks listed on here besides Mendoza, who's a day 1 pick.
Yeah.
So this Indiana team seems to have is this Indiana team going to have a big draft in 2027? Or is it just like everyone on this team is like a baseline good dude and there's only a few real standout prospects?
I mean, yeah, I don't know if it'll be a big draft in 2027 either. I think Indiana I think Kurt Cignetti has a very good eye for college talent and some above that. Like, I think Fernando Mendoza has all the tools to be a very good NFL quarterback, despite you thinking he's dog shit. And I also think there'll be a school where you're going to see guys like day 2, day 3 get picked up. And then it's like, oh shit, that guy was good. We probably should have paid attention to what he did in college and not discount it due to like whatever caveats they put on him. But I don't know if there'll ever be like at least not in like this year, next year. I don't know if they're going to be a Georgia, Bama, SEC, where you're just like seeing
11 players going in the draft.
Yeah, something crazy.
All right, Mike. Well, let's close that out by doing some picks here. Let's do some picks for this game. Some picks. So I'll let you go first here. You can either choose to take a money line pick or a spread pick, but whichever one of us earns the most fake currency off of our pick here gets to kill the loser. So
Okay. Let's see here. Taking a look at some spreads. See what I
Some
like.
spreads. You're gonna hit the
Some
alternate
spread
spreads.
skis. Yeah. Oh, I like that one right there.
Just me marking in my head how far into the podcast we are, so I know where to edit out the silence.
See, I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the different books. I don't hate IU minus the 8.5, but we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go first half. Got a good number here. Looks like I can get them minus 4.5 at DraftKings. Oh, sorry, we don't give shoutouts. At people who consider themselves kingly in the betting game. At minus 4.5 at minus 112. Take that.
All right. And I will take the Toronto Raptors money line over the Indiana Pacers at minus 108.
Wait, what?
What? Is it Indiana's involved?
That's true.
Yeah. I'll take the Hoosiers at minus 8.5 because I'm not gonna go dig through a bunch of alt spreads.
I do really love this minus 1.5 in the second quarter for IU too. I'd hammer the shit out of
that. There you go. Mike, with that, let's turn our eye to April. Imagine it, April 2026. The weather, 50-ish degrees, partially cloudy, probably some few showers. The current president of Venezuela is Jared Kushner. He is covered himself in oil and is sliding down the stairs slowly with a blank look on his face. Greenland, now the 51st U.S. state, sets a new record for exporting. What's a very Greenland thing to export? Snowshoes.
Okay, there you go.
And we are talking the NFL draft. Mike, this is another one in our series. This will be our 5th mock for the 2026 NFL draft. Previous mocks, the first overall pick has gone Lenora Sellers, Ruben Bain Jr., Fernando Mendoza, and Ruben Bain Jr.
Yeah.
And I have the first pick overall in this draft, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to go through the top 10. The top 10, going back and forth drafting here. This will probably be the last one that we don't take into account team need. After this, I think we can probably lock in on team need for the teams in those positions because that's not what we're doing for this one.
I planned on that.
You did that last time too, and I was like, we're not doing team need.
I mean, the top 10 is locked in now, so you think it would be safe to do that, but I guess not.
So next time, we'll do by team need. Mike, with the first pick overall,
mm-hmm.
I'm taking a mistake, a problem, an error. I'm taking Fernando Mendoza.
Does as it did. It does as it did.
I wonder how much of my disdain for Fernando Mendoza is the fact that he doesn't swear.
I think it's a big part of it.
I like my quarterback who swears, you know? I like a swearing quarterback. Maybe a swear or like a singing quarterback. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Like if his whole gimmick is he sings.
Is he singing and he swears?
Yeah, he sings and swears. He's like a rapper. Rappers are always singing and swearing.
That's true.
Mike, you have the second pick on the board. You cannot take Fernando Mendoza, but you could take any other player.
I cannot.
Mark.
There's like a lot of Arvell Reese hype who has declared for the draft, by the way. And I get it, but I'm not overthinking it. Ruben Bain Jr. Just take him.
Arvell Reese, so far in our mocks, has peaked at 6. That has been his highest so far. Ruben Bain, a cascade down the draft boards to number 2 overall.
Yeah.
Well, I can eliminate my number 3. Do you know how I had written in at number 3, Mike?
Ruben Bain Jr.
No, I had Dante Moore written in at 3.
Oh, yes, Dante Moore announced today he's returning to Oregon.
He is returning to Oregon. Well, with that, Mike, I will go ahead and take the guy that you were too much of a coward to take. I will take Arvell Reese. Here's what I want to know about Arvell Reese, though.
Mm-hmm.
What is he? Who is he? What is this guy all about? You know? 327 snaps on the defensive line, 286 in the box. Is he just like fully an outside, like a throwback outside linebacker? Or is this guy like slowly converting to full-time pass rusher?
No, 6'4", 243. I think he's like a traditional outside linebacker. He's very good in run defense. He can get after the quarterback. He's not a kind of guy you're going to ask to like really, drop back into like that mid-level coverage or help out there. He's not very good there. But his ability to stuff the run and, more importantly, his ability to get after the passer is what makes him such a hot commodity.
See, I would be more confident in a guy that's splitting snaps between the box and the line if he could cover.
Right.
Yeah, that's not great. Don't love that. Like, I get that pass rush is a premium, but it would also be great if you could stunt that guy out and he could actually cover, like Christian McCaffrey on a wheel route. Like, that'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I believe in a throwback outside linebacker that can't cover the pass, especially if he's going to be splitting snaps. If someone drafts him and just converts him to full, like, 5 tech outside the tackle pass rusher, sure. He's smaller than your Myles Garrett type, but athletic, got bend, all that kind of stuff, can finish. Just don't love him not being able to cover. Not big on that. Not big on that. Mike, the 4th pick. You were on the clock. I said you were on the board. You are not on the board. You are not draft eligible. I hate to tell you.
Damn it. Well, let's go ahead and keep it with the Buckeyes. Go with the best defensive back in the class, Caleb Downs. Easy pick.
You've taken Caleb Downs in every single one of our drafts so far.
I've been waiting to take Caleb Downs in mock drafts for like 3 years.
I can color coded our drafts, but I can never remember who is what color. But I can figure out who is what color because I just look when Caleb Downs went and I do the math backwards from there. First draft, 4th, you had the even number picks. The second draft, 3rd, you had the odd number picks. The third draft, 4th, you had the even picks. And the 4th draft, 3rd, you had the odd picks.
Yeah.
All right. Caleb Downs off the board. The way that I kind of encapsulated this draft was I was going for a lot of positional value. I was trying to assume if every team was a blank Madden team, so not assuming for team need, but just blank Madden team, who goes where based off positional need, like what positions are valued. So I think that this is a guy who is probably going to get overdrafted because I bet he profiles well at the combine and in like individual workouts because he's just big and he's athletic, but he has no production, and that's Keldrick Falk.
Oh, yeah. Said that like that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you know?
Keldrick Falk.
Yeah, Keldrick Falk, 6'6", just a big, meaty fucking dude who plays edge, so I'm guessing he's going to play kind of the Myles Garrett directly over the nose of the tackle position. Just dog shit production, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like Shamar Stewart without the Shamar Stewart athletic explosiveness. We'll see how he works out in the NFL, but I think that this guy is going to end up getting a little overdrafted.
I feel like he has to have a little bit more production than Shamar, though.
He does have a little bit more production. You and I almost have more production than Shamar Stewart, though.
Fair point. All right.
Mike, you're on the board. The 6th pick in the draft.
6th pick in the draft. Let's go ahead and get a premium position in the trenches. Look at tackle here. Big 2 names, Fano, Maui Goa. One guy's still playing football, leaving a lasting impact on the scouts throughout this playoff run. I'm going to take Francis Maui Goa at 6.
That'd be really funny if you said premium position and then drafted a cornerback. I did not have Maui Goa in my top 10.
A little bit bigger.
I did not have Maui Goa in my top 10. He has kind of fallen down draft boards. Bad year to need a cornerstone offensive lineman.
Yeah, not a super strong year.
Not a super strong year. Continuing on with our recent trend of the positional value, the tentpole positions, the positions that typically get taken in the top 10. I'm going to take another guy who might get overdrafted, David Bailey, the edge defender at Texas Tech. Here's the thing about Bailey. Big breakout year this year. Good and bad of that. Every year, he's kind of trickled up a little bit. It was like 2 sacks and 5 sacks and 7 sacks, and this year he had like 14 and a half. So it could be a legit breakout, or it could be that he's a senior playing against like sophomore guards now, and he's just bigger and stronger than them. So only time will tell. We'll see how he tests at the combine. But I think that an edge defender with a ton of production near the end of his time, definitely going to be a first-round pick. We'll see if he goes in the actual top 10.
Yeah. Also, I mean, 15 sacks, great year. That Texas Tech defense was phenomenal. It also helped that he had a guy like Romello Height also coming after the passer who had a really good year. So, but I think he'll definitely do pretty well for himself. All right.
8th pick, Mike. 8th pick. Your second to last pick.
Second to last pick. That's tough.
You can still take Drew Aller.
So he's still out there, isn't he?
We're gonna take one quarterback in the top 10. What is this? Last year?
I mean, we're not don't care about positional value, so or we don't care about the actual draft order. So
Yeah, don't care about team needs. Just care about positional value.
yeah, all bets are fucking off. Usually I
Which
save
I'm now
this
just
for
realizing
10.
if we were doing by team order, I just took David Bailey to the Commanders.
No, I'd like that for you.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? No.
We have good pass rushers that were hurt that I don't want to waste a top 10 pick on another pass rusher who I don't totally believe in.
Yeah.
Like if someone could put out a photo of Ruben Bain smoking marijuana in a gas mask right before the draft and he could fall to 7, that'd be great for me.
That'd be really good for you.
Yeah, because then Larry Tunsil's there. He could walk him through the process after that. I think this is a great marriage.
We're not, like you said, we have been established, like we're not paying attention to the draft order for this last one. So I think we'll probably see some wide receiver go in the top 10, but I'm not going to do that here. Usually I save this guy for 10, but let's be honest here. That's way too low for him. The man, the myth, the legend. All you need is love, Adam.
I already typed him in. Don't worry.
All you need is love. Best running back, best halfback. Let's go old school terms. Best halfback in the class, all right?
How far back do you have to go before it's not halfback or quarterback or anything? It's just back.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
When George Clooney played
Clooney.
football. Yeah.
Do you think there was a time where they called like the whole line defending fronts and then the running back was just back and you either were played on the front or you were the back?
Yeah. And that was not quarterback. It was your pass guy, handoff guy.
Well, they didn't have passes then. Yeah, you're snap catcher.
Snap catcher.
Jeremiah Love off the board. I wasn't going to take him anyways, although I did have him in my top 10 because I knew you'd take him. Let's see. Who is my top ranked guy still available? I'll go, as much as it'd be fun to go fucking nuts with it and draft someone unexpected here. I'm just going to go Spencer Fauno, the other tackle in the top of the class. Tippity top of the morning to ya. I think that we probably see Spencer Fauno or Francis Mauigoa or both of them go in the top 10 because tackles be tackling, yo.
The tackles do be tackling, yo.
Tackles do be tackling. Mike, with the ultimate pick of our January 14th, 2026 mock draft, who you taking, bud?
Let me think here. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second if I want to actually double down on this guy this hard.
Mike's going to take Caleb Downs again.
Wait, is that an option? No. Nah, there's no way. There's no way. Now, usually I always take Jeremiah Love at 10, so this is really breaking my brain.
Yeah.
He's usually always my go-to last pick.
What if I told you this is not the highest Jeremiah Love has gone in our mock drafts?
What's the highest I took him?
It's 6.
6?
Oh, sorry,
Wow.
7.
7. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is a wild one. It's not going to happen, but I really like this kid. And I don't know. This position keeps getting drafted really high, even though we don't think it will. Kenyon Sadiq, tight end out of Oregon. Went ahead and entered the draft. I was a little surprised. Thought he'd run it back with Oregon for a chance to win a natty. But hands down, the best tight end in the draft will be the first one off the board. That's not a question. The only question is if a team up there somewhere gets so enamored by his size and athleticism and physicality and pass catching ability that they take him super early.
I think you can make a lot of money by simply betting on whatever team hires Arthur Smith to take Kenyon Sadiq in the first round.
Like, I'm wondering, I mean, it's too bad the Bears are drafting later this year because they could get another tight end.
Cole Kmet, Kenyon Sadiq, and Colson Loveland all out there just running crossing routes in front of each other while Luther Burden and DJ Moore just sit on the sidelines.
I mean, if Vegas trades out a number 1, you know why.
How excited do you think Ben Johnson would be just to get to run 31 personnel all the time? Just 3 tight ends and DeAndre Swift out there. Maybe he would run 41, put 4 tight ends, and take Caleb Williams out. All right, Mike, let me recap our first mock draft of 2026 here. I had the first pick. So going from 1 to 10 in order, odds being me, evens being Mike, Fernando Mendoza, Ruben Bain Jr., Arvil Reese, Caleb Downs, Keldrick Falk, heavy on the defensive end of the ball, Francis Mauigoa, David Bailey, Jeremiah Love, Spencer Fauno, and Kenyon Sadiq closes out our top 10. Mike, we'll be back to do another mock draft in February. This one will involve the teams. By then, we'll know the top 10 draft order. So, Mike, you put down here that you want to talk about notable classmen who have declared for the draft and then only put down one name. Do you just want to talk about Kenyon Sadiq for a while, or you want to just move on and talk about the...
I put multiple names in there. I don't think you looked at the updated rundown yet, yeah?
Let me see.
I put a few names down there. One note, and said I'll have a list to rapid fire as far as the wide receiver situation goes. Plus, I put an update on the QB class because shit getting wild there. I guess we'll start there. QB class.
Yeah. So let me just run through what you have written down here. As we previously mentioned, Dante Moore returning to Oregon. Lenora Sellers returning to South Carolina. That was old news at this point. Ty Simpson declared for the draft. John Mateer, not decided. Trinidad Chambliss, undecided. Mike, what about Drew Aller?
I think Drew Aller's going. I like literally I looked it up, but I haven't heard anything. So maybe he's like, I got hurt. I wasn't playing good prior to that. Maybe I should just run it back. I have no idea what's going on with Drew Aller. Mateer is still undecided. His draft stock obviously took a big tumble after he got hurt. Chambliss is still, as of now, I haven't seen an update that he's undecided. He obviously has that. He's appealing to try to get this waiver again. Dude, go to the draft. You have a legit shot to be the second QB off the board now. Dante's gone.
No kidding. No kidding. And as we learned last year, the second QB can go as early as the 3rd round. So,
right. You could be in the Shedeur Sanders spot. You could go round 5. All right. But the Ty Simpson thing, he declared, but reportedly there's schools contacting him trying to give him like buku crazy money to come back. Kind of like what happened with Cam Ward. He declared for the draft and then he came back because Miami was like, we'll make you pretty wealthy this year.
Yeah. And people hate the transfer portal in the NIL. I think it's great. It gives people like Ty Simpson a chance to actually earn money in their life.
Yeah. Because we mentioned it, I think it was like on one pod we mentioned how like Dante Moore was like the most important like piece to figure out this QB equation for the draft.
Yeah.
And in a way, with him removed now, it actually just causes more chaos because it's like, all right, Mendoza, and then let's see what happens the next few months.
Yeah, there's two possibilities I see here. Either one of these like transfer quarterbacks who's a little bit older, declares for the draft, and just climbs because they're good on the chalkboard, right? Like you see like a Carson Beck climb up into the Paxton Lynch area.
Garrett Nussmeier.
Garrett Nussmeier, obviously going to get drafted by the Saints, and he's going to supplant Tyler Shuck because his dad, the Gus Bus, currently the offensive coordinator for the Saints. But I can see a world where Ty Simpson, Trinidad Chambliss, or Carson Beck climbs up pretty solidly into that number 2 quarterback spot because they're either good on the chalkboard or test really well in individual workouts, or they're a good interview, good leadership, something like that. But outside of that, I don't see a strong separation happening here, a la Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson style.
Yeah. No, I'd probably agree with that. There's no one like in the way back where I'm like, watch out. Like I know there's going to be some school, not some school. Someone's going to draft Diego Pavia in like round 6, and it's going to be a team that's bad. It's going to be a team that's bad who's going to see like his preseason highlights against teams 2nd and 3rd strings, and they're going to be like clamoring, "Give Diego a chance."
So we don't have a ton of time to spend on these draft updates just because we do need to get to our preview of the divisional round. Okay. But I did want to ask you this about this quarterback class, and then I want to run through the underclassmen who have declared for the draft that you think are of note. Here's what I want for the quarterback class. One more mention of them before we retire them forever. Team talent alone for the 2025-26 season, the Arizona Cardinals. If we say the Arizona Cardinals have to draft a QB, and it has to be realistic, right? So no like, oh, they trade these 6 things up to get number 1 and get Fernando Mendoza, right? Like realistically, who is the best pick for them to draft, given their infrastructure, and who is the funniest pick for them to draft?
I mean,
So they obviously already
funniest
have a wide
pick-
receiver 1 in Michael Wilson in place, Trey McBride, a very good offensive line, and at some point I'm sure they'll have uninjured running backs.
Yeah. I mean, I keep talking about it. I feel like Chambliss would be a lot of fun.
Chambliss is he's like a deep throw guy, right? Like he just throws bombs.
Yeah, there's bombs, but he's also got pretty good mid-range accuracy, is what I was trying to say. And he's can be a highlight dude, scramble around like a crazy person, throw some ridiculous pass. It's always fun to watch. The funniest one I feel like would be if like took like one of the guys who people were talking up going into the season, even though they shouldn't have, and like a Cade Klubnik or a Drew Aller, like they took them late and then they end up starting somehow.
I know
funny.
it's not
Or
realistic
Carson
for
Beck
this year. Carson Beck would be funny because that would also be such a swerve the other direction from Kyler.
Yeah, like they get swept up and them being like, oh, this dude's got it. It's like, well, I hope he's a redshirt senior. He's been in college a while. And like, oh, he played in the national championship game, and it's like, yep, he was like probably the fifth reason of why they played in that national championship game.
I think the best situation is that they're in a similar position next year and end up with Dante Moore, who I think is a good prospect, but is also an undersized, like deep throw and somewhat reliant on his athleticism quarterback.
Yeah.
And so I think it'd be funny if they just do Kyler Murray again.
I think the important thing to remember about Dante Moore is he's 20 years old. He has started only 20 college football games. Not a lot, not very experienced.
Fun fact, that's 18 more than Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
Mike, let's run through these other notable underclassmen who you have pointed out. We talked about Kenyon Sadiq, so I'm gonna punt him, which I could not physically do because he's a large human. Yes. Tell me a little bit about Anthony Hill.
Anthony Hill Jr. for the Texas Longhorns, whatever they do.
You go like this, you run down, and then there's that video where that really bad actor lets Bevo out and he like kills 25 people in the commercial.
Oh, one of my nephews mentioned Bevo the other day, and I was like, "Have you seen that commercial?" Yeah. But he isn't like whenever I watch Texas games, he always stood out to me as like one of the best defenders out there. And I think he's very likely to be the second linebacker off the board behind Arvell Reese. He profiles a little bit different in that I think he is more of your traditional well-rounded linebacker. Like you can drop him back and kind of play him in that shallow mid-level coverage. He didn't put up he was able to get pressure, but he doesn't have big production as far as sacks and QB hits this year. But he's also strong against the run. So I think the reason why I pointed him out is just because he is a junior, a true junior, I believe. So his third year in college. And Texas is spending money and making moves to load up this roster. So I'm a little surprised that Texas didn't say, hey, how much money to get you back?
Can I give you
can make this run?
Anthony Hill professional comp.
Go for it.
Roquan Smith.
Holy shit, I knew you were going to say that. That is so weird.
They both, Mike, here's why you knew I was going to say that. They both play linebacker and wear number 0.
I didn't even think of that. I just in my head, I was like, he's going to say Roquan Smith. I don't know why. But yeah. I didn't write it down, but Dylan Thieneman, the safety from Oregon, also went ahead and declared. Now, keep in mind, they still have a couple weeks, I think, just before the deadline to say, actually, never mind. I'm actually go back to college. So nothing's final. But and then the last thing I wrote down, not to step on your toes, because usually the ship, was the wide receiver situation, right?
Yeah. So what's going on here? Because this has looked like a weak wide receiver class with basically it was Cardinal Tate and Jordan Tyson and no one else, even in the conversation.
Cardinal Tate's flown up draft boards.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
So who are these underclassmen declaring for the draft, and do any of them have a chance at being the first wide receiver off the board?
I think everybody has a chance.
Everyone.
Like, not everyone, but like if you run off like the top 10 wide receiver prospects in the draft, I could see throughout this months long process that it jumbles up, and like who knows, they could be one or two off the board. Because like so many juniors, so I thought maybe they'll come back because they can get a good NIL deal. Are opting to go. Zachariah Branch from Georgia, Mekhi Lemon, Jacoby Lane from USC. Obviously, you mentioned Carnell Tate, Denzel Boston from Washington. Casey Concepcion had a fantastic year for A&M. Yeah, and I thought he would come back because he's another player who's on a team that like A&M legit playoff team for next year. If not, they have hopes of making the national title game that aren't crazy. So I thought maybe they'd be like, here's the check, come on back. But no. So at first I was like, why are all these wide receivers jumping into a jumbled class? And they believe in themselves that they can be, a couple of the first round wide receivers. And I thought about it. I was like, oh, shit. Next year, they have no chance of being a first-round wide receiver.
Yeah.
Because it is stacked.
Yeah.
So now it makes sense.
Yeah. Now is the time where you can get premium money for being the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Well, where are the Bills picking this year?
We don't know for sure yet. As of right now, it's 26.
Probably
32, though.
Yeah, I thought it was so sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll take like 3 wide receivers with that pick, so.
Yeah. Probably not. Brandon Beane will be like, no, we're good.
We got what we need is a tight end.
Yeah.
Mike, of those juniors that declared for the draft, or those underclassmen, I should say, that declared for the draft.
Yeah.
Give me, as fast as you physically can, a favorite, least favorite, overrated, underrated.
Of the ones I mentioned, right?
Yeah, of the ones that are kind of into this category. So it doesn't have to be someone you mentioned.
Okay.
But it does have to be like the surprising underclassman who declared for the draft.
Gotcha. Favorite would probably be I've become a big Casey Concepcion guy. He's not the biggest dude, but really like his game, and he's a playmaker. Good speed, good hands. Get him in open space, do some damage. Least favorite, I don't know. Like Jordan Tyson's the big name on top of draft boards, and I don't see it. Yeah, he's good size, 6'2", 200, but I just don't see it. Overrated, I'd say, as blasphemous as it sounds, and I know we saw the guy, really bad guy, Tampa Bay.
You talking about Emeka Egbuka?
Yeah, Emeka Egbuka have a great year, but I think Cardinal Tate really benefited from being on the other side of Jeremiah Smith.
Okay.
So I think he's a little overrated. And then underrated, he's a redshirt junior, so not a junior, a true junior, but no one's talking about my boy, Chris Razzle and Brazzle.
You know why you didn't say him? Because he's a senior. I was so surprised you didn't say Elijah Surratt, but he's a senior, so that's why.
Yeah, he's a senior.
Yeah. Chris Brazzle as your underrated. All right, there you have it. 6'5", 200. What is this guy? A skyscraper?
Yeah, dude. Throw him them jump balls. Come down and get it.
Give me one of them big ones. All right, Mike. I think that's our all-encompassing draft segment. Is there anything else we missed there that you feel desperate need to discuss?
No.
All right. Mike with a very deflated no. Mike, the divisional round of football is happening, which I had no idea about, but you probably did because the Bills are playing in it.
Fuck yeah.
So before we get started here, a little segment that I had earlier on the rundown, but I want to burn through. Let's I just want to rank the top 3 defenses left because this feels like the year of defense. It feels like a few years ago we had the too high shell that was like the year of defensive scheme. This feels like the year of defensive talent because there are some disparate defenses left who do very different stuff, but are all there at the end. And so let me rattle off all the teams left in the playoffs. We'll rank the top 3 defenses.
Oh, I got an idea.
What?
I was going to say, do you want to just go through the games and then we can say where we ranked those teams in our defensive rankings?
Yeah, that works. Sure.
Yeah.
So, Mike, we'll start here with the Bills at the Broncos. Currently, the spread on this is Broncos minus 1.5. That flipped. The Bills were favored when this game opened. Over under 40. Yeah, Tyler Shaver's knees really flipped that one. Over under 46.5. Here's what we're going to do for each of these games, Mike. We are going to pick a side of the spread, a side of the over under, and one player prop. Mm-hmm. Then after that, I guess we'll say where we rank each of those defenses in the playoffs. But let's start here, Mike. You are a Bills fan. This game is on midday on Saturday in Denver. Are you worried about the fact that your team has No wide receivers.
You know, someone in the world lamented this year and said, referring to the Bills, probably Bills fans said, how could this wide receiver group be any worse? And then God laughed and went, what if you didn't have enough of them? Touche to the big bearded man upstairs. So not entirely, just because like I feel like we need to lean on the tight ends anyway for us to make this run to the Super Bowl. So probably call
agree.
someone up, McCole Hardman. In a weird way, I'm more concerned that Ty Johnson still isn't healthy. As crazy as that sounds, Ty Johnson tends to come up clutch in the weirdest of moments.
That is definitely a deep Bills-brained thought to have. The other thing here, Denver, notoriously easy to kick in. Matt Prater still has no quads.
Yeah. But doesn't it help him that
wait,
the
Matt Prater revenge game though? We do love a revenge game here at Talent Alone. Yeah,
that is true. Hopefully, it doesn't come down to the kicking game.
I would, if I was you, I would hope it does.
No, I would hope it doesn't. I would hope we're up the 27-10 halfway through the fourth, and this game's just fucking over.
400-0. But as an underdog, I think if it's coming down to a Matt Prater kick to win it, I think you have to say, okay, we walked in as an underdog, so
barely 1.5 point underdog. Come on, that's not like we're underdogs. No one believes in us.
Is this line disrespectful to the Broncos? Home team, number 1 seed. Not to spoil anything, but the best or second best defense in the league.
Yeah.
An offense that has done enough to get them the 1 seed, obviously, and obviously the coaching advantage goes to Denver. Is it disrespectful that they're only a 1.5 point favorite?
No.
That is entirely a Josh Allen respect line.
Absolutely.
Also, Josh Allen has so many fucking injuries, they're turning him into Frankenstein's monster to get him out there.
Dude, that man will have to be in a wheelchair to not get out there and ball.
He's got knee injury, concussion they lied about, finger injury, ankle injury.
I don't think they lied. I think someone just whistled down. They're like, hey, the hit he took and his helmet's set off. You gotta take him in the tent and put a flashlight into his retina. Make sure he's not concussed.
Is there anything else important that you wanna note on this, or you ready to make our picks?
Just that our run defense is terrible, and so it is a solid
the Bills.
The Bills, sorry, the Bills' run defense is terrible. Bad habit of doing that. So it is a good kind of pull that I'm not at all scared of J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. So.
Yeah, I don't know how much Broncos you watch this year, but you better be scared of R.J. Harvey because no matter how it's working, Sean Payton will give that guy the ball as many times as he can.
Oh yeah, and
he'll throw him screens. He'll hand him off.
His 3.7 per carry is like what?
Yeah. All right, Mike. Let's make picks here. Who you taking? Which direction are you going on the spread here?
Obviously, Bills plus 1.5.
Bills plus 1.5. I think I'm also going to go Bills plus 1.5. I, honest to God, don't know who's going to win this game, so I might as well take the extra points.
There you go.
Might as well take the extra point.
1.5.
Mike, the over-under in this game is 46.5, which I think bodes well for the Bills. If this game hits the over, I think that's because the Bills won.
Yeah. I wrote over and then scribbled it out and said under. I still think the Bills win because I think I know we don't have a great defense. Spoiler alert for what we're about to mention, but I don't think the Broncos put up much points. Like I said, 27-10. I could see the Bills winning 27-10.
Yeah, I don't think the Broncos put up much points either, but I also think that there is a chance that this game is like Josh Allen 100-yard rushing game. Like
we did.
I don't know what else they're gonna do against this defense, man.
Yeah, last year once this game got into the second half, the Bills started putting belt to ass and pulling away. So
yeah, different team last year, I will say.
Pretty similar though.
I also think these are two of the best 4 offensive lines.
Yes.
At full health, 2 of the best 4 offensive lines. Yeah. So I'm going under as well. So we both took the Bills spread and the under, which if studio shows are anything, that means we're both gonna be wrong. Mike, do you have a player prop written down? You got a player prop for this one?
Yeah, I got a player prop. Everybody's out here being like,
player prop.
Denver defense, Pat Surtain, defensive player of the year. You're gonna give me plus 136 on Josh Allen over 1.5 touchdown passes? Better bet I'm gonna slam that. I'm gonna grand slam that style. All right.
Here's the
We're
problem.
talking MVP, baby. We're talking MVP.
I could see a game where we go 0 for 3 on this because, well, I guess 1 for 3 because the Bills win. It hits the over. Josh Allen throws 1 touchdown pass and runs for 2.
That's a possibility. And James Cook also runs for like 2. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna take over Dalton Kincaid 3.5 receptions.
I like that.
I like Alex Singleton and Dre Greenlaw. I don't love them. I would say it's the weakest part of the Broncos defense is their linebacking core. That being said, it's a gift of riches. Like if the Commanders had Alex Singleton and Dre Greenlaw, they'd instantly upgrade their linebacker core from what they had right now. Mm-hmm. So the weakest part of the Broncos defense is better than the mediumist part of the Commanders. Mm. But I still think that there's Shakir. I mean, I think that if you walk in game planning for this Bills team, you say, we got to keep someone on Josh. We got to make sure that we are tackling James Cook. And we have to make sure that we don't get killed by Khalil Shakir and Brandon Cooks, I guess.
Yeah.
If there was a prop I could bet for over on defensive pass interference called on Riley Moss guarding Brandon Cooks, I would take that. But that isn't a prop you could take. So instead, I'm going to take Dalton Kincaid over 3.5. I think it's going to be a big Dalton Kincaid target fest.
I like it.
Dalton Kincaid. Mike, where do you have these two defenses ranked? Starting with the away team, finishing with the home team.
So I have the Bills ranked 7th. I know people are like, what? Not 8th? Yeah, I'm ranked 7th. Our run defense, not good. Our secondary is better than the sum of its parts because the one thing that's great about Sean McDermott is he's a secondary guy, and by God, he gets the absolute most out of his secondary.
Yeah.
And
Unlike
also,
Aaron Glenn, who was a defensive back and doesn't get anything out of his secondary.
Yeah, and I also think that despite our deficiencies up front, we have a strong defensive coaching staff that manages to adjust at halftime to help stop the bleeding and let us get back into games. So I put him 7. Broncos, it's a coin toss between them and another team we'll talk about in a minute. I have them 2. You could easily say 1.
Yeah, I have the Bills 6th. I'm sure we both have the same bottom team, but I have the Bills 6th. And I have the Broncos 2.
Oh.
Listen, my dad's probably going to listen to this podcast who is a Broncos fan, and I'll get a text about this. The Broncos defense is very good. I mean, very, very, very good. And I think does have an argument for the number 1 pick or the number 1 defense.
Absolutely.
The number 1 that we're going to talk about here is they got something special going on with the coaching and coordination of that defense. Next up, Mike, next on the slate, the NFC West rematch. 49ers at Seahawks. Seattle is currently a 7-point favorite. Over-under is 44.5 points. Their previous 2 games, combined total was 46 points. So I don't know what Vegas is smoking with a 44.5 point total in this game. And the team split the season-long series in this. Let me ask you this, Mike. Is there any way Sam Darnold can get a bye all the way to the Super Bowl?
He could use one, probably. That'd help.
Is that a possibility? Yeah. What is a more likely outcome here? Sam Darnold outplays Brock Purdy and Seattle wins with offense, or Sam Darnold shits himself, sits in his own shit, and the defense has to save him?
Based on track record, you'd probably have to say Sam Darnold sits in his own shit while seeing ghosts.
Yeah, I've been spiraling. I've been kind of in a I don't like to get too dark on this podcast because it's fun, it's light, it's entertainment. I've been in a pretty dark place the last few days after retiring the Piss Pants Ben Johnson nickname. So I'm really looking for something to replace that in my life. And so if Sam Darnold could shit his pants and I could use that to fuel me for the next several months, I would appreciate that.
Yeah. I prefer he doesn't because I finally, throughout this year, I've been like, you know what? I may have been wrong.
Sam Darnold, you're Charlie Brown and Sam Darnold is Lucy, and you're finally like, I'm going to get to kick that ball this time. I'm finally going to get to kick that ball. George Kittle out with an Achilles tear. Mm-hmm. Trent Williams playing. What?
Achilles. Everywhere. They're snapping. We are devolving as humans.
We're just getting you ready for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey coming this summer. The rest of the 49ers are like oddly healthy, which is weird to say. Like, no Ayuk. Ayuk's gone. I forget about Ayuk. But Pearsall's questionable to play. Kittle is out, obviously. But aside from that,
his practice window opened up.
Warner's practice window opened up. There you go.
I believe so, yeah. What's up with Bosa? Is Bosa healthy?
No, Bosa's hurt. Bosa's done.
That's right. He's always hurt.
He's always hurt. And unlike Joey Bosa, played every snap this year.
Knock on wood.
Well, you only got one game of snaps left, and then he can be done.
We have 3 left, brother. We got 3 big ones left.
What is who? Let me. So we did this gimmick a while back where we just picked the best player in every single game. Who is the single best player involved in Seahawks 49ers?
I mean, that's tough to not say. It's crazy to be like, oh, wide receiver, but Jackson Smith and Jigba is gonna. He's gonna feast.
It's gotta be JSN. I feel like
he's gonna feast on this Niners secondary. Like, it's not gonna be pretty.
Mike, who are you picking on the spread? 7 points towards Seattle again.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can get 7.5 at a couple books. Are you going 7?
We're going 7. Stop fucking fishing for.
They're reputable books. They're actual books, so you can get 7.
I know they're actual books. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter.
Still, that's a pretty big spread for this point in the playoffs, and I do think the Niners just have the It's funny that I don't think they're going to make the Super Bowl, but in a way, this has probably been the most impressive coaching job of Mike Shanahan's tenure.
Yeah,
with what he's done,
the team has weathered so many injuries.
Yeah, gone 12-5, right? And that's just crazy. So I think they do keep it closer than that. So I'm taking Niners plus 7.
Yeah, I'm taking Niners plus 7 as well. For me, it's not as much as Shanahan because I think McDonald has announced himself to the world stage. I think that guy's a dude.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how well it works long term. I know defensive schemes can kind of get stale. We'll see how good he is at evolving. But Mike McDonald has announced himself as a borderline Sean McVay style defensive coordinator or defensive coach. Still, it's the 7 points there. It's a bet against Sam Darnold. I'm sorry, Sam. I've been the biggest Sam Darnold believer.
Yeah.
Since until he got popular, and then I abandoned ship because that's what.
Yeah, before anybody else, you were believing. That's true.
Yeah, I believed in Sam Darnold for way too long, and then as soon as it got popular to believe in Sam Darnold this year, I went, I'm out.
Such a hipster.
Yeah, but listen, if he does it once, I only need once to believe. If he could do it once in the playoffs, Sam Darnold's never won a playoff game, so I just need him to do it once, and I'll buy back in. Mm-hmm. But for now, I'm taking San Francisco plus 7. Mike, over under 44.5. What side are you sitting on that?
Yeah, I think this over under is a little low.
I think it's a little low.
So I think it's a little high. I'm going over actually.
You want me to reread the stat where both of their previous games combined for a total of 46? That's both of their games combined. Not
what's the over under?
44.5.
Yeah, I'm taking the over.
Mike, I'm not saying that both of their previous games, each game. I'm saying if you combine all of their scores against each other for the whole season, it is 46 points.
I'm not changing my tune for it. Third time's the charm. It's playoffs, baby. People take it to a different level.
On defense. Right? Yes, they take it to a different level on defense. I'm taking the under. It ain't even close. Right. Mike, what is your player prop for this game?
There's a couple I was looking at. I'll go with this one. Like I said, I'll go ahead and do a little spoiler. I have the 49ers ranked as the 6th best defense. I think they've done pretty well for what they have. That secondary's rough, and they've tried to retool it, get a little younger. It hasn't worked. Upton Stout from Western Kentucky has not looked good. Malik Mustafa out of Wake Forest has not looked good. Do you like how I put the colleges in there? You want to know why? I know ball. Is that reversed? Is that going to look me? God damn it. Anyway, I still know ball even if it's backwards. And,
watch the video for whatever the fuck Mike's talking about.
Yeah. So I think JSN is going to cook 100+ yards plus 108. Give it to me.
100+ yards plus 108 for JSN. You said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I obviously
100 yards passing.
100 yards receiving. I obviously went the reverse here. I've been talking up defense, and I'm going to stay on that beat. I'm taking Byron Murphy II to record a sack at plus 225. Love us
I
some
like
Byron Murphy around here, especially the second one.
Can I-
First one, not so hot on. Don't love Byron Murphy the first. Byron Murphy the second. That guy's a dude.
That's
Go ahead.
This is a good segue to what I was going to say, is that I have the Seahawks ranked as my third best defense right now.
I have the Seahawks as my best defense.
Oh, I love it. I don't hate it. This defense, like, we quietly didn't realize that their front office was crushing it in the draft, like Nick Emenwari, Byron Murphy hits. And then also when you look back at it, there's a lot of vets on this team who have been there who are having better years than they are in the past. And that is because of, you want to know who? She came from somewhere long ago.
That's pretty good.
Mike
That's
McDonald.
That's a pretty good bit.
That's a pretty good bit. Mike McFreaking Donald is legit.
Yeah. Seattle far and away number one in EPA per play allowed on defense. Minus 1.85 over the last 8 weeks. Mike McDonald has, like, seriously, just like, who is the best player on this defense?
Is it Byron Murphy?
It's almost impossible to tell. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it is. There's no potential defensive player of the year on this defense. It is a lot of dudes who play their position exceptionally well. Like, if you go by PFF grades, Devin Witherspoon, who's a phenomenal cornerback, but spent a lot of season injured. DeMarcus Lawrence, Julian Love, DeAnthony Bell are your top four. Tyrese Knight as your fifth, if you want to say that. A lot of those guys, none of them, I should say, played 17 games. A lot of them played between 8 and 11 games. None of them would be people that you would talk about in terms of Defense Player of the Year conversation. Their sack leader was Byron Murphy at 9. Like, this team isn't feasting on the typical things that you think top defense feasts on. It is just well-schemed, well-coached, and well-executed across the board. Yeah,
and like Devin Witherspoon is an example of, if I say vet, he's only been in the league 3 years, but like in 2024 he had, and I know McDonald was the coach, but sometimes it takes a year for these coaches to get their stuff in place. He had a 68.7 coverage grade. This year 84.6.
Yeah,
like noticeable jumps, and there's a few guys on this team when you go through it you see that.
I had the 49ers defense ranked dead last in the playoffs.
Okay, I had him 6 because I didn't want to be too homer on the Bills, not input him 6, so I put him 7. You're probably going to be surprised by my 8th, but we'll see.
I think I could probably guess your 8th.
Yeah.
Next game up, Mike. Texans at Patriots. The Houston Texans at the Houston Patriots. Patriots, -3 on the spread. Over under 41.5. The last game the Texans played that went over that number was week 15 against the Ravens, in which the Texans scored 44 points. Now I ask you, Mike, how many of those points were on defense?
You said they scored 44 total?
Scored 44 total points. How many of those points were scored by their defense?
41.
0.
Wow.
CJ Stroud threw 4 touchdowns. I like these teams because they're like polar opposites. Like, the Patriots are like the entire plane is built out of Drake May, and the Texans, the entire plane is built out of the things that aren't CJ Stroud. It's like the defense and a really good receiving core, although maybe no Nico Collins. The offensive line struggling, but a good run game and consistent coaching. And then you flip to the other side of the ball, the Patriots, it's like, Drake May sprains his toe. We're fucked.
Welcome to the club, New England. Having a franchise quarterback.
When you think about it, it's the whole AFC East is just like that. If their franchise quarterback gets hurt, they're fucked.
Dude, if Tyrod and Justin Fields both went down, the Jets would be cooked.
I don't know how much this is going to be the worst game of the weekend, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that. I mean, it was a tie between Texans, Steelers, and
Chargers.
I'd say
Patriots.
Chargers, Pats. It's like the worst games around one.
Yeah, and the Texans do not have a great offensive line, and the Patriots' defensive line has been coming on, so it could just be a thing where they're just like disheveled the whole game. I don't know, man. Like this is a Sunday mid-afternoon game. You have to watch it because it's the divisional round. But like, if for some reason you had something else going on, this ain't the worst game to miss in the world.
Mm-hmm.
This will probably be like the low point. Like midway through this game, I'll be like, Ugh. I wish I was doing something else. It's gonna be like we're gonna be like in the third quarter. It's gonna be 13-3, and we're gonna have 3 straight 3-and-outs, and I'm gonna be like, is there any movies I want to go see? Mike, who are you taking on the spread here? Once again, the spread. Patriots -3.
Yeah. So, so the thing about the Patriots all year has been like, man, that schedule was so soft. And when you look at when they played the like 3 good teams they played, look at Drake May's numbers. And then you come into the playoffs and you play a team with the winning record and you put up 16 points against what I consider to be like a solid but not impressive Chargers defense.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good look. Now, still, for Houston to win this game, they're going to have to be tippy top. I have them number 1 in my defensive rankings because they've been on a heater, and the way they're playing, I think, is unreal. So for that reason, I am taking Houston +3.
Yeah. I have Houston 3rd in the defense, and there's a clear top 3 on the defense. So.
Oh yeah, any order.
Any order you put those in, really. Just depends on your preference here. What I like about Houston's defense is that like Seattle's like disguising and executing. Denver is reliant on these like absolute star players to perform, and they're just solid across the board. Houston is like, we think our players are better than you. We're going to line up exactly where our players are going to go and just beat you. And they do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like the pass rush is vicious. It's going to be like a tough day for Drake May in the backfield there. Yeah.
Tough day
for May. I am also taking I'm taking Patriots -3. I don't believe in this Houston team at all.
I would like 3.5 better, but I checked. Can't get any books at 3.5. So.
Yeah. So I'll take Patriots -3. It's bad because I'm also gonna take the under, and you never want to take the favorite and the under. So I'm taking under 41.5. I mean, there's like, I don't believe in either one of these teams, man. There's like a chance that, like, the important thing, and we talked about this a lot with the Patriots, is they played such a phenomenally easy schedule, as did the 49ers, which we didn't mention there. But the Patriots played such a phenomenally easy schedule. By the way, I look like the most gamer piece of shit on earth with like the dark behind me, the sunset. I'm just paled out by my light. They played such an easy piece of shit schedule that this Houston pass rush and secondary is going to be by far the hardest defense they've played this year.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and so I don't know what exactly we should expect out of this Patriots team. I'm taking Patriots -3 because the Houston offense is anemic. They relied on Christian Kirk way too much to beat the Patriots, and defensive scores, which are random. And Nico Collins might not play with a concussion. I was going somewhere with that. But anyways, both these offensive lines suck too. So, Will Anderson over 95 sacks? Probably. Mike, what is your player prop?
Looked at a few of them. All Drake May.
Wait,
all Drake May negative.
Did you write down your physical notes this week?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you keep looking down at a notepad. I love it. I love when you do physical notes. Physical notes, Mike, is like, it's like the Olympic basketball Mo Wagner or Gershon Yabusele. It's like, this is peak Mike. It's physical notes, Mike.
So there's a few I looked at. They're all May negative. I settled on this one. May to throw an interception. Mm-hmm. Your options on the book I was on were yes and no. You take yes plus 100. Kalen Bullock, 5 interceptions, 6 PBUs. Kamari Lassiter, 4 interceptions, 11 PBUs. Derek Stingley Jr., 4 interceptions, 9 PBUs. Jalen Petrie, 4 interceptions, 6 PBUs.
Yeah, it's now a good time to bring up that, once again, the Houston defense scored 2 touchdowns last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good time. So,
I'm also taking a Drake May inspired prop.
Yeah.
Mike, let's say you're an athletic quarterback. Sneakily athletic, some may say. Mm-hmm. All your receivers are covered, and your run game's not working. What do you do?
All your receivers are covered. Your run game's not working. You run because you're the quarterback.
You run. Drake May over 7.5 rushing attempts.
Oh, I love that one.
Plus 116. Attempts.
Ooh, that's a little spicy.
Plus 116. That also means, Mike, if at the end of the game they're winning, they get the ball, they got to run out the clock. Kneel downs count as rushing attempts.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart. In a perfect world, they're losing. I would find it funny if they're losing. like 4th and 3. He takes off to scramble. He has 7. You need 1 more to hit this. And instead, he throws on the run and throws an interception, and mine hits, but yours doesn't.
Where do you have the Patriots defense ranked? Both of you and I already said the Texans. I had them 3, you had them 1.
Once again, because of their schedule, it's like so tough to really figure it out. I put them 4. You could have like 4 or 5. They're just, to me, they're like this, like, all right, defense solid. You're not going to get lit up. I mean, they really didn't get lit up this year, except for like the second half, their second game against the Bills. They fell apart.
Yeah, I have the Patriots defense at 7.
At 7?
Yeah.
Wow. Who'd have thought I would have been nicer to the Patriots than you?
I'm just more pragmatic. You just fucking love Mike Vrabel. Mike, the final game that we have here, the honor of the Sunday night game, being called by hopefully Chris Collinsworth. Rams at Bears. Here's a team, Mike. Rams at Bears. Rams are 3.5-point favorites. The over-under, highest of the week, 48.5. Let me tell you this, Mike. Let me tell you this. Matt Stafford's finger is going to hurt a lot more when he hits it on someone's helmet in 20-degree Chicago weather.
Oh, that's really going to sting.
Yeah, that's going to sting. That's going to be a painful one. Everyone on the Rams is like nursing injuries, which I know it's this time of year, everyone's hurt. But it's like Puka Nacua has injuries, and Kyron Williams has been questionable on and off, and Stafford has injuries. It's and the defense has been kind of sliding down. I don't love this for the Rams, but it's also, this is probably the most fun psychopath coach matchup, which is a lot of fun too. Mm-hmm. Like there's a chance either one of these coaches like goes Sandman mode and pulls out a kendo stick and smashes it against their head a bunch of times to hype up their team.
Oh, I thought you meant they were going to sue Napster.
Sandman's. Oh, got it. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Justin Timberlake. He founded Napster in that movie.
I'm not coming back for 10%. Okay.
He's not the one that says that.
Oh, that's right.
Mike, if Caleb Williams wins this game, does he get the MVP?
No, I think that's already been voted on.
Fuck. God damn it. Whose star is pointing up the most here right now? Like, the Rams defense is obviously pointing down. Is it just like the Bears are pointing up? Is it the Bears offense that's pointing up? Like, what? Who is the most peaking at the right time between like the 4 phases of the game, offense and defense?
I think it's the Bears who are definitely the hotter team right now. They're vibe fueled. I've been saying it. Ben Johnson, it's got the boys humming. They're vibe fueled. Caleb's is making crazy plays when they matter. They fight. So I definitely think the arrow's up right now for the Bears. More talented team, probably the Rams.
Yeah, I think the Rams have more talent across the board. McVay's been here a few times. Stafford's been here a few times. Williams hasn't. This is the one that you take. Money line, Rams in the first half, Bears in the second half, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's the way to go with this. Mike, what side are you on here? Rams minus 3.5, Bears plus 3.5.
When it goes with, when you're dealing with these vibe fueled teams, you never want to be there when it comes crashing. You don't want to hang on to your GameStop stock too long.
I just like the bet.
It's like the bet. I'll say right now, diamond fucking hands, Adam. Vibes fueled Bears plus 3.5.
Taking the Bears plus 3.5. I'm gonna take the Bears plus 3.5 too. I think the Rams are more likely than not to win this game. Obviously, the odds agree with me. Mm-hmm. But come on, Bears. Keep it close. Keep it a field goal game. Lose on a field goal if you're going to lose. Mm-hmm. Make it fun. Make it nice for us. Over under 48.5. Where are you going with this, Mike?
So it's now the time where I can tell you that I have the Rams dead fucking last.
Yeah. Now would be the good time for that.
They haven't been playing very well. And most notably, all year, like even going into the year, I said it, you may have agreed that felt like the weaker part of this defense was going to be the secondary. And for like half the year, they actually held up and played well. And then it's just slowly cratered. And it's a problem now. And they have so much talent up front, but guess what? That talent doesn't matter if they don't have time to get home because guys get open so fast. And that's what we're looking at here. This is why Bryce Young is taking the lead in the fourth quarter and you guys are having to come back. And it's a problem for me. And I don't think it's going to get any better. So I don't feel good about this defense. The Bears defense I had ranked fifth. Also not like a spectacular defense, but we're starting to see a lot of the pieces of what they've put together over these last couple of years, rebuilding it, come together, especially in the second half. They make adjustments and they play well. They get the job done, make big plays when you need them to. I like their secondary. I like their linebackers. Montez Sweat's a dog. All right.
Montez Sweat's had a big resurgence in the second half of the season.
Yeah. And so for those reasons, taking the over.
The Bears, since week 10, have had one game that didn't go over at least 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
Their last game that went under this number was at the Ravens, and that went for 46. I have the Bears defense ranked 4th. The Rams ranked 5th. I don't feel great about that. I might flop them if we do these rankings again on Friday, which we're not going to, but let's say we did. I might flip them. I am taking the under. Don't love taking the under. Would love to root for some points. Obviously, last week we got that incredible second half comeback. Ended up hitting what would have been the over with 31-27 win for the Bears. But 48 is a shitload of points, Mike.
And what helps you in that is this is the Bears. It's a home game. It's in Chicago.
It's in Chicago. It's in Chirac. So no one's going to be able to hit field goals. It's going to be cold and miserable. A lot of people have been like on and off the injury report, but it looks like most of them are playing. So, you know. Mike, what is your player prop for this game?
You know, like I said, he's not perfect for the whole game, but he gives you some plays. I started looking, and I saw Caleb Williams like over-under passing yards. I think it was like 219, 240, something like that. That was kind of crazy. And I could go out there and I could take his passing yards 225 or more to get plus money at plus 102. But then I thought, what if I give myself a little help to get these plus numbers? And what if I go 250 passing plus rushing at plus 108? I said, what if I do that? And I says, Mike, let's do that. And that's what I did.
So I did a parlay.
I'm excited.
Caleb Williams over 1.5 passing touchdowns and over 0.5 interceptions.
That's very possible. Yeah, I can see that.
Do you know what that pays out, Mike?
Plus, like probably plus 336.
According to the sportsbook I'm looking at, you cannot parlay those two bets. So instead...
Oh, that's right. I was probably looking at the same sports book, and like my Drake made a throw an interception. I tried to do a parlay, but it's not one you can parlay.
Instead, I'm going to take Kyle Monangai, receiving yards, over 20 receiving yards, 20 plus receiving yards, plus 310.
Big Monangai game. See it coming?
Big Monangai game. I just think that for Ben Johnson to win this game, he's going to need a little bit more check down stuff. He's going to need a little bit more quietly stable things instead of the big home runs that they were throwing against Green Bay. I think that this is the kind of game that you just want to keep the ball out of Sean McVay and by extension Matt Stafford's hands. Wouldn't mind some more receiving work for the running backs, which is not a staple of the Ben Johnson offense this year. So I think Kyle Monangai maybe breaks one off and just gets the 20 right away. Maybe he chips away at it here and there, gets like 3-4 receptions. But I'm taking Kyle Monangai, 20 plus receiving yards at plus 310.
In the event that Caleb does throw that interception, you think he might. If I gave you plus 500 odds, would you take Nate Landman, little linebacker, over the middle, jumps up and snags it?
No.
Fine, fuck you.
I don't think of Caleb Williams as a guy throwing interceptions to linebackers, and maybe like someone can hop in the comments and tell me why I'm such a dumb fuck. But like, I think of Caleb Williams as throwing interceptions to like a safety or a corner who cuts under a route because he has such a good arm that he can just layer it over the second level into the third.
He gets a little whoopsie daisy at times, yeah.
Yeah, so I could see it as like he throws it into coverage he shouldn't have. I'd be surprised if he threw a pick to Nate Landman of the Atlanta Falcons fame. Mike, that's all I got. That's all of our picks, predictions. We got a draft in there. We talked some Mike Tomlin. That was a pretty packed episode. Hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, cut down a little bit. Good.
Yeah, probably an hour and 36 minutes. We're streaming tomorrow at
Want to see my
Mike
backwards
Nussball?
graphic again?
It's forward for me on Discord. We'll see how it shows up.
Oh,
in the
okay,
video
so it's just me, so it should be good.
We're streaming tomorrow, youtube.com/@talentalone podcast. We're back to playing Pokemon, finishing up the randomizer there. I got a few wrinkles I've added in that we'll discuss at the start of the stream tomorrow. You can check out our short form content. We have one that I think probably came out in the middle of this podcast or is about to come out where we were talking about Tony Romo. Friday, we'll have a new episode of Baskey. I'll put out a new schedule update over the weekend, but next week, once again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday podcast, Thursday stream. If you're listening to this on an audio platform, please be sure to rate us. Ideally 5 stars. If they have 6 stars or like 7 stars, like we're wrestling in the Tokyo Dome, give us that. Unless it's out of 10. If it's out of 10, please don't give us 6 stars.
Yeah,
follow us on whatever your audio platform is, Spotify, Apple, all that kind of stuff helps. If you're watching the video version of this, be sure that you have already subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that button. You don't need to hit the bell. Fuck the bell. I get that it helps us, but God, I hate when I get push notifications. Don't hit the fucking bell. But comment below. Let us know how you rank those top 8 remaining defenses. One in our order. I went Seahawks, Broncos, Texans, Bears, Rams, 49ers, Patriots. Did I miss anything, Mike? Oh, you can email us at townalonepodcast@gmail.com. You can also tell us your top 10 ranked defenses, but tell us if you email us your top 10 ranked defenses in the NHL. With that, Mike, would you like to give a junior surprisingly declared for the draft wide receiver based shout out?
Oh, okay. I already mentioned Razzle Brazzle. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to Georgia Bulldog, former USC Trojan. Had a better year at Georgia. Big surprise. Zachariah Zip Zach Zig and Zaggin Branch.
Let's get out of here.
Go Bills.
Go. Oh my God, you really prepared for this. That gift just keeps going. Still going.
I got it on loop, brother.
Still going.